Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Pokemon White. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. I myself am doing pretty alright. So if you didn't see the last episode, we were fighting Gym Leader Clay, and we did defeat the Driftvale City Gym, and now let's see what N's talking about. And also, these like shadow guys were always creepy to me. I don't know, they just appear and then force you to go up to N. I don't know, it's kind of weird. But yeah, N is in the Chargestone Cave, and we're not really sure what this place is. We just entered, so let's go ahead and find out what this is. But all he's saying right now is just Team Plasma is good, and we should appreciate them, I think. I don't know. Whatever he's saying. I don't know. Oh, hey. Yeah, Bianca and Professor Juniper are actually going to be joining us, which is a lot of fun. I kind of like I always say, I like seeing the professor outside of their normal research lab. And I think up until Gen 5, counting the first 5 generations, I think Gen 5 had the most professor cameos. So I think that's always really cool. And hey, we got a lucky egg, which is actually outstanding. I forgot we got that. Wow. That's going to help leveling a lot. I'll put it on for now. We'll see how bad it is, but let's throw that on Charlotte. And let's move her to the front. But yeah, Lucky Egg, in case you don't know, it either increases EXP by 1.5 times or 2 times, but either way, that's a ridiculous amount to just have constantly going. Oh, and also these gem puzzles are cool, but I kind of have most of them memorized, so I won't really need too much help knowing where they're at. And also, Chargestone Cave has some really cool encounters. Clink is probably the most boring, but there are, I think, 4 Pokemon you can encounter in here normally, which is really cool. One of them's super rare, it's Tynamo, but I think that Ferroseed and Joltik are both a little more interesting. I think those are great Pokemon. But for the most part, and in most playthroughs, I'd say if you're leaving without a Pokemon from Chargestone Cave, you're doing a big disservice to your playthrough. Which is funny, because I'm literally not going to grab someone from here, but I'd say that most people probably should, because Ferrothorn's amazing, Galvantula's amazing, Electros is amazing, and Clink Clang is okay. So, you know, he's alright. Also, this may be our first Ace trainer. I think it is. We're getting towards the end. That's when you know it's game over. Oh, this is Arkin, by the way, the other fossil. So, if we didn't choose Tortuga, we would have gotten Archon, I think, is how you say it, Archon. But I personally prefer Tortuga just because Archeops does have the terrible ability to feed us, which, to my knowledge, is one of the 3 only hindering abilities. Well, genuinely hindering, not like risk-reward a little bit. Like, for example, Hustle lowers your accuracy, but it raises your attack by quite a bit. It's not like that, it's just pure negative. Because Defeatist, it halves your attack and special attack after you get below half health, which I think is so dumb. Archeops didn't really need to be nerfed, in my opinion. I don't know, maybe that's just me. But I really think that they shouldn't have given it that ability. I get with Regigigas, kind of, and Slacking. Especially Slacking, because Slacking's just really good, but Regigigas' ability shouldn't be as bad as it is. I think that's just an opinion most people have. Slow Start is ridiculously stupid. For 5 turns, your attack and speed are halved, which is insane. It's like they really just wanted to cripple Regigigas as much as possible. And personally, I think that if it was 5 turns, no matter who's battling, I think that would be a little bit more balanced, but the fact that if you switch in and wait 4 turns and switch out and it resets, that's ridiculous. And also, even if you make it through the slow start barrier, if you switch, you do have to go back, which I think is stupid. Honestly. It makes no sense to me. If I remember correctly, we actually need to go down here. So, yeah, I think I'm just going to go straight down. Well, once we fight this trainer, of course. I mean, come on. Hopefully the Boldore won't destroy Charlotte. I really hope we'll live, but we'll see. Oh, good damage. Iron defense, that's nothing. That's nothing. Oh, man. I love Pokemon Black so much. Or Pokemon Black and White, sorry. Just imagine. Pokemon Black's amazing, but Pokemon White, the game I'm playing, trash. No, so just breaking the fourth wall a little bit. Hey guys, my name's Spencer, as in Spencer042. What up? No, I'm kidding. I've been thinking about it, because through this playthrough I've been like, am I going to record a lot of the post-game? Am I not? And I think I've come to the conclusion, this sounds weird, but I think I'm going to record the post-game at a later date. Like, we'll start the next series, but then post-game will be a while from now, I think. I think that's how we'll do it. And you guys will understand once we get there, but yeah, that's a little sneak peek. Oh, that was a dust cloud up there. Probably could have gotten another drill, but I don't know. Yep, that's how we do it. Also, I've been thinking about these, like, 30-minute episodes. I don't know if I want to make them longer or shorter. I'm not sure. I kind of like 30 minutes. But also, I feel like we've had a ton of episodes in this series, and we're not, like, too far, which isn't terrible, of course. You know, every series should probably be, like, 20 to 30-ish episodes if it's a long game like this. But also, I don't know, oh, oops. I kind of feel like, I don't know. I feel like we have a lot of Pokemon to go, and I don't know. Maybe I'm not rushing it too much, which may be good, but I don't know what I'm saying. I give up. Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about the channel and how much fun I'm having, genuinely. I appreciate anyone who watches these videos. I make them for me. I really don't make them to entertain the world, per se. Number one, I just do it because I find it fun. And I guess, like, without getting too deep, it's a little bit therapeutic. Not that, like, I need something that's therapeutic. Well, I think most people do, but not. It's not like I'm in dire need of something. Like, oh my gosh, I'm doing terrible. I need to play this. But no, I think it's just nice to have a bit of an outlet to express yourself a little bit, whatever it be. And I love video games. And sometimes I find it hard to play video games because I feel like I'm not being too productive, especially when I'm replaying a game that I played before. I'm always trying to experience new things and stuff, so. But yeah, I think, oh, there's an item over here, okay. But yeah, I love doing YouTube because I get to kind of immortalize my playthroughs in some way. You know, like, I'm not just playing by myself. I'll think back to games that I've beaten, and I'll think I don't remember anything about that game. Like, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, I beat that like a month ago. I can't tell you anything about the story or anything. It's just weird. I don't know how it works. But when you're doing YouTube, which, by the way, if any of you are thinking about doing YouTube and making Let's Play videos, I definitely recommend it. It's a lot of fun if you have the resources to, or the time or the energy, anything like that. I would definitely recommend it. It's fun. But with these videos, it is kind of hard to make, because, of course, you have to put in a lot of effort to, you know, be entertaining, or at least not sit in silence for a while, so that is something. You know, you can't really unwind too much when playing, which does kind of suck. And I get why some people don't like doing YouTube just because of that. Completely get it. But for me, I kind of like it because, you know, I get to stay active in something I love, and I also get to have a little bit of fun. I don't know. But yeah. Oh, Nugget Brothers, yes. No way. We got a nugget. I always thought these were so stupid. I love little things like that. It's hilarious. Which way? Oh, right here. Cool. And I think this guy will heal us if we fight him. Sick. Always love seeing doctors like that. Oh my gosh, my Pokemon gets so weak because I don't... Well, of course I have set mode on, which doesn't really add to, you know, the whole trying to heal up my Pokemon and do good matchups and stuff. For the most part, I just kind of leave my Pokemon in. So when we encounter doctors or anything like that where they can heal our Pokemon, I will always appreciate it because, man, without that, oof, it would be rough. And by the way, from my estimation, I'd say that Lucky Eggs are 1.5 times, which makes me a lot more comfortable using them. Of course, in the long run, it may make me a little over-leveled. I'll kind of stop when I see that for sure. But yeah, I think using them is fine. even like EXP shares, which I know like Generation 6 and on made EXP shares a lot better. But I still think that some people don't like EXP shares in general because it's like, you're not using your weak Pokemon and they're just getting free levels. But I'm completely pro EXP share. I will always use them if I get them. There are a lot of games where you can get them pretty early on, and I will always be using them. In fact, I think the only generation where it's kind of hard is Gen 1. And I can't exactly remember where to get them in Gen 4. I'm trying to think. So I know Gen 2, you bring back the... What is it? I think you may need to bring back the red scale from the Gyarados, which you can get after the 4th gem if you try. And then Gen 3, you can get it after the 1st or 2nd gem. I think 1st gem, actually. It's ridiculous. And then in Gen 5, of course, you get it from the Castelia City place. And like I said, there is one later in the game, which I'm so thankful for. Of course, we don't want to split our levels too much, but it is nice to have that option, of course. Especially if we're leveling up any super low level Pokemon and we just want to get them to evolve or something, that would be nice. Yeah, take him out. Get out of here, Watchog. It's a little sad I won't be saying Patrat anymore in this playthrough. Oh, fun fact, Synchronoise is what I think the stupidest move of all time. It's a Psychic type move that has low distribution, which means not a lot of Pokemon get to use it. It's not in the moveset or anything, it's not a TM. But Synchronoise only damages Pokemon that's your same type, and it's a Psychic type move. So... yeah. It's crazy. And I know there's this guy named Pimp Knight. I don't know if he makes a lot of videos still, but he was really popular back, I'd say in like the Gen 6, Gen 7-ish days. He did a lot of theme teams and a lot of like challenge teams with competitive play. And I thought it was really cool. One of my favorites was, I think he had a Zoroark that had Synchronoise. Because, you know, Synchronoise is Psychic type, and Smackdown, sweet. That's good. And he was using it on a Dark type, so it couldn't affect anyone. I always thought that was hilarious. I love that video so much, it's hilarious. Sweet. And now we can move on to the next grunt. This section is kind of full of grunts, I don't know. I feel like the earlier gens, like Gen 1, Gen 2, what I think of as Silphco and the radio tower / the kind of like Rocket HQ in the Gen 2 games. I forget what it's called. But anyways, there are a lot of places in those games where grunts are just full. In fact, it's kind of every game, but I think Gens 1 and 2 do the worst. This is probably a little bit of Gen 1, Gen 2 grunt action right here, because this is a little ridiculous. Like 5 grunts in a row is kind of absurd. But I do like fighting Team Plasma because, you know, they are the evil team, and they're a pretty good evil team, in my opinion, so I'm always cool to fight them. Just thank God it's not Bianca or Charon, because if it was, we'd have problems. They never leave us alone. Something I like to do, by the way, about the levels that I have, you'll notice I'm kind of letting Excadrill go a little bit behind in levels, which isn't super intentional, but I kind of think that whenever I have a super strong Pokemon who is objectively better than every other Pokemon I have, I like to let their levels lag back a little bit. Just so eventually, when, you know, the weak Pokemon are higher, I can just blitz through a part with that strong Pokemon and get its level up really high. Because trying to balance levels is a little bit hard, but when you have something like that, you can kind of just get ahead a little bit, you know, do your homework, get a little bit far in advance, and then just catch up with your Excadrill, which is great. I also would like to use Excadrill in a different game. I don't remember it in Gen 6. I think Gen 7 is just Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, if I remember correctly. And Gen 8, I think it's in the main game, actually. I think it is. I don't know. But yeah. I know Gen 8 had Dexit and stuff, where it got rid of most of the Pokédex. But for the main game, 400 Pokemon is a lot, and there are so many Pokemon that I forget's in the main game. And I'll be like, oh, okay. Like, for example, Muna. I think that's so funny. I had no clue they were in the main game. And then I actually... Sorry. I was looking in the decks, and I saw Muna, and I was like, you're kidding. No way it's in the game. But apparently it was. It's just weird. I don't know. I barely pay attention to that stuff, but whenever I finally get that moment of clarity, I'm like, you're kidding me. That's insane. Yeah. And also Gen 9. I know there are some Pokemon that are still missing, but it's only like 20. So Gen 9 really did throw in a lot more of the unused Pokemon in the main game, which I love. Had a lot of the sleeper picks, like, well, I don't know about sleeper picks, but the lesser popular Pokemon. Like, I know Seals in Gen 9, you got Sunflora, a lot of the weird Gen 3 Pokemon, so I think that's cool. But then, of course, you have your Garchomps and stuff like that will be in every game no matter what. So that's a little sucky. I do wish they put more of those Gen 5 Pokemon in there that they left out. But at least in the DLC... Well, actually, I found this out today. Fun fact. In the DLC, I'm pretty sure every starter will be available, which is dope. Keep that going, Game Freak. That is cool. Oh, Thunderstone. Cool. So that means Tepig and Snivy will finally be usable in Gen 9, which I love. I do just wish that there was a game that every Pokemon was usable, because in a lot of ways, even though they're not my favorite game whatsoever, they're in my lower half for sure. The Alola games do seem a little bit definitive, you know? They're the last ones on a handheld, dedicated handheld, and they're the last ones where you can have every Pokemon, so... In a world where I were to complete a Living Dex, I'd probably stop at Gen 7 and just not pay for Pokemon Home. But sadly, that's not the world we live in. So, $16 a year is not my favorite, but it's not terrible. So that's the only reason I do it. If it was like 30, I'd definitely reconsider. 16's still a little ridiculous. I mean, Pokemon Bank was $5 and it was way better in my opinion. So, I don't know. It's alright though. I mean, there are, what, like, 4 different mainline games that connect to home now, not including Pokemon Go and Arceus. Well, that would be 5, actually. So yeah, 5 not including Pokemon Home. That's kind of good, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, it's a little weird. But now Pokemon Bank is free for everyone, in case you don't know. I definitely recommend using it. I used it the other day to transfer some Pokemon to become competitive in Scarlet and Violet. Which, yes, for the first time ever, I'm doing Wi-Fi battles on a Pokemon game. I never did it before. I may have tried it a few times, like every generation, but I never really tried, and I did more battles than I have on Scarlet and Violet than any other game combined. So, I think I may have done like 50-ish battles by now. I have a pretty cool team. It's a lot of older Pokemon, because I don't really vibe with a lot of the newer Pokemon. Like, they're cool, but compared to like the OGs, I mean, come on. Everyone has like Chin Pao, all that stuff, but I have Landorus, so I love Landorus, one of my favorite legendaries. So good. I'm excited to catch him in this game, that'll be fun. Oh, sweet. Yeah, that's Wonder Skin right there. Confuse Ray missed, it's 100% accurate, that's great. Yeah, pretty decent ability, I guess. You know. It's pretty situational, but most normal abilities are, so I can't complain. Gosh, I feel like we've been in here for years. It hasn't really been that long, but I don't know. Man, oh man. And now? I think we exit to the right. I'm gonna use some more repels. We have kind of been through the whole thing, but I'm gonna repel up real quick. Cool. Let's see what's down here. Okay, an ace trainer and a nerd-looking guy. Oh, we can go back. Okay, I'll find him. I always like to get those extra levels, so let's go ahead and do that. But yeah, Chargestone Cave, fun place. Probably one of the more unique caves in my opinion. I like the blue aesthetic, especially with the gyms, that's really cool. But there are some caves that can kind of just beat it. I don't know. So I've been thinking about the generations a lot, because obviously I'm doing like Pokemon Let's Plays now. Oh my gosh, I gotta think about that. But whenever, like, I'm getting a lot of nostalgia for Gen 3, which is weird. Gen 3 is getting old again, which is crazy. Because normally how it happens, let's take Gen 1 for example. Let's say you were playing Generation 3 and Generation 4 of Pokemon. Fire Red Leaf Green just came out, so it's new. And then by the time you get to Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, you're like, whoa, Gen 1 needs to be remade again. That's where Gen 2 is currently. But then after Gen 2, it'll be Gen 5. And then probably Gen 3, or maybe Gen 6 first. I know that Gen 6 came before the Gen 3 remakes, but I don't know. That may be what they're doing, I'm not sure, but... Like with this one, for example, it made sense because it was Gen 3, then the Gen 1 remakes, then Gen 4. But I don't know, doing Gen 5, then Gen 6. Pokemon Company likes doing weird things. I don't know, we'll see. But for the upcoming Generation 2 remake, which I think will happen, that's me. You know, we're getting these paradox forms of Gen 2 and Gen 5 Pokemon, which are both in need of remakes soon. It's kind of weird. Whoa. That's weird. I wouldn't be surprised if they did Gen 2 remakes in Gen 9. I don't know, maybe weird. Because, like I've said, making a third or, well, sequel games for Gen 9 wouldn't make a ton of sense, in my opinion, so I don't think they do that. But I'm not sure what their plan is. I think Gen 2 remakes may be the way to go. They'd probably do it cheap, just like they did with the Gen 4 remakes, which is alright. Not my favorite, but, you know, we've gotten to a point where, for example, okay, let's say Heart Gold Soul Silver sucked, right? Let's say that happened, it sucked. And so, if it was bad and everyone wanted to play Gen 2 is an objectively flawed game. So it would kind of be you'd need to pick the lesser of two evils for the most part. But good thing Heart Gold Soul Silver completely outdoes Gen 2, other than nostalgia reasons. And so we can play Heart Gold Soul Silver to our heart's content. Same with kind of Fire Red Leaf Green and Let's Go. The people who don't like Let's Go always have Fire Red Leaf Green, which kind of sucks in some ways, but also it's like, deal with it, you know? It's kind of what Pokemon Company's saying. So from here on, with like Gen 4 remakes, Gen 2 remakes, Gen 5 remakes, I'm good. Because the DS games are fan-frickin-tastic. They're definitely my favorite platform for Pokemon games. Because, I mean, we did just get 3 gens, which is a good amount, but we already have more than that on the Switch. But I think that the DS very obviously beats the Switch. So. I will say, the GBA for just having one generation of Pokemon definitely puts up a good fight against everyone else. It's weird, because normally people would think, oh, that one's the worst, so that's the least amount of Pokemon games, but really it's like, that's 5 amazing ones on handheld. And then you count the GameCube games, which are outstanding. That's cool. Oh, I could let's play the GameCube games. That'll be in 2033. You know, forever from now. Actually, I've never played either of them all the way through. I played Coliseum for probably 3-4-ish hours, and XD for less than an hour. So, yeah. Because Coliseum was confusing. I remember it didn't leave a good impression with me at first, which is funny. Because the first time I played it, I was in the town where you get assaulted by the Team Snaggin' people. And just imagine, there are 3 people who are like, we're gonna give you a Pokemon. I go to one randomly, and I wasn't sure if there were any indicators on what this was or anything, and they give me a frickin' like Bayleaf, and I'm like, you're kidding me? I don't want a Bayleaf? That's the worst one. Are you kidding me? So I was just sitting there like, this is ridiculous. I get a Bayleaf? So that kind of made me not want to play the game all the way through, funnily enough. I don't know. It's just Pokemon, and I do like Chikorita more than most people, I'd say. But I was like, come on, dude. Why couldn't I have gotten Totodile or A Cyndaquil, that would have been sick, but you win some, you lose some. Wow, we keep getting low, low, low. It's crazy. Also, the Gastro Acid definitely did raise that damage. Jeez. Ferroseed. Okay, we're definitely not fighting this guy. Ferroseed is kind of scary. We don't have a fire type yet. Or ever. I don't know. It's kind of obvious to guess what our next Pokemon is. I don't know. I think most people have probably gotten a good idea of what it is. I don't know. But yeah, the only thing we can really do against Ferroseed is Dig, I guess. And then every other move we really have is bad. Except Sigilyph's Air Cutter. So that's pretty funny. Kind of screwed in that way, but whatever. Wow, that's no damage. And it keeps using Iron Defense. Wow. Let's just keep doing Dig. I forgot to teach Bulldoze. I'm not sure if I want it or not. I think I'll stick with Dig, so that'll be okay. Like I said, 2 turns aren't terrible, but they're not my favorite thing ever. Probably like most people. So, yeah. I just want to kill this Ferroseed already, jeez. It's max defense, right? That's ridiculous. Just give me a crit. That's all I need. Yeah, Iron Barbs is an extremely good ability for just, you know, an early game Pokemon. Well, ish. It's pretty good though. Just getting damaged. I can't really think of another Pokemon with Iron Barbs. I don't know if anyone has it. I know Rough Skin's kind of the same thing. So maybe one of those abilities, you know, kind of like Pure Power versus Huge Power, which is always stupid to me. I don't know why. I mean, Huge Power for Medicham doesn't sound crazy. I don't know why they did that, but whatever. Yeah, wow. That Ferroseed did a number. GG though, GG. And now we get another close-up. I remember this one. Oh wait. Pretty sure we get one, right? Or did we already get one? I forget. Because it's either here or Twist Mountain where he asks us like a yes or no question. I was always like, oh, I wonder what must be somewhere else. Weird. That was always weird because I was like, I used to think that games were a lot more interactive and variable than they actually are. So I'd be like, oh, I wonder what happens if I do something different, but I don't know. Oh, yeah. Now we're exiting Chargestone Cave, which is outstanding for us. I am definitely a fan of that. I like this place, but also it's kind of, you know, so. Let's get out of here. Oh, wow. Cool, lowering our happiness, whatever. Gee, this really is the game of return. Can't get away? You're dead. Juno's gonna come in and return you. Return you to sender. Bah! Get out of here, Joltik. Get out of here. Jeez. And here we go. Also, I don't think I mentioned this in a while. Gen 5 has probably the best bottom screen in my opinion. I know a lot of people like the Pokegear. I also kind of like it, but I don't know. I think Gen 5 just wins. Let's go ahead and heal up though. We are in Mistralton City. Insane. The 6th Gym City. Let's go. And cool. See you later. I forget what it is, but I remember there's something cool in this house. It may be the move deleter. I forget. Oh yeah, it's these people. Yeah, so this girl's heart scale. Yep. Which, let's just check Excadrill, honestly, since we're here. And Charlotte. Anything good? No? Okay. Sometimes there will be those, like, relearn moves. I'll check Charlotte too, might as well. Please be something cool. Hypnosis isn't terrible, but I don't really want to cheese people that much. And also, 60% accuracy. I mean, come on. Come on. That's ridiculous. Let's head up here. What? Who's that? Yo, check it out. Yeah, so this guy actually made the PC, I think, right? Cedric, I think so. He may have just said that, I don't know. Let's go. See ya. But yeah, Skyla is the 6th gym of Unova. A flying type trainer, which is really cool. She's not the best, but she's pretty easy. Okay, so we have to go to Route 7 before we can fight the gym. That kind of stinks, but you know, whatever. But I think that's actually where I'm going to end off this episode. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Pokemon where we went through Chargestone Cave. That's all we did. But hopefully next episode it can heat up. We're going to go to the Celestic Tower. And maybe we'll fight Skyla next episode. I'm not exactly sure where that'll happen, when that'll happen. Not sure how long everything will take, but we'll find out. Thank you all so much for watching this episode, though, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out, guys.